Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Canje Play. And today, we are continuing our preview of Phantom Epoch, that is developed by Tyson, who created this wonderful game, and we are doing kind of preview. So what? This is a Kickstarter preview. Everything you're going to see is within Flux, and we just to let you know that nothing is final. Everything change at the drop of a hat, to where he feels that it goes. So I want to test something out before I get in there. I went back and I listened to the first Phantom Epoch. I had been tweaking Steve's mic so much that it sounds perfect, but mine was awful. It sounded so like tinny, and not tinny, but it sounded like I was talking through a CB radio. So I kind of wanted to check here for you all to let me know, how does this sound? Does this sound good? I can make an adjustment if you feel like it's still kind of not solid, right? If it's because I can make adjustments as we go. Um, and I just want to make sure that y'all can hear it. My mic sounds great. Why did it sound so tinny on the stream then? It made no sense. It's like when I went back and watched that video, I was like, uh, uh, self-esteem plummeting. Yeah, sorry to hear about the computer problems, Steve. It's in the shop. But Steve's gonna be coming here for Game and Palooza this weekend. So you will see Steve. We will be streaming together this weekend, which will be awesome, and playing a ton of games, which will be amazing. Anyway, I know we're talking Phantom Epoch. I just wanted to get this sound stuff going because I want to make sure that I sound decent. I sounded like you could tell what I'm saying, and I'm not just babbling. Well, I mean I babble on, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so we're gonna continue our. So we're gonna. I just grabbed the random scenario out of Phantom Epoch. We're gonna play that tonight, and then after that, I'm gonna pack all this up, and I'm going to hand it to Steve this weekend, and he will take it over, and he and Kim will play more of it on his channel. After. But there's other games that's going to be coming on, but this one here, it is a Kickstarter that's coming back soon, TM. So, so it will be coming back soon. And I believe I stated that in the first video when Tyson said it'd be coming back. I think he said summerish, fallish area. So look for it to drop back there. It was on Kickstarter. It did get canceled, but not for any reason other than he wanted to pull it back, tweak it some, really put more. You know, he put a lot into it, but he wanted to make sure that he squeezed every drop of mechanics out so that everyone will have the best gaming experience. And it makes sense. I mean, other companies have done that before where they've gone away and come back stronger than ever. He's following that same thing and doing that same thing. So top on you, Tyson, for doing that. So just to kind of give you all a sense of what the table will look like, this is not going to be digital. This will be purely, I have the prototype components in front of me on the table now, and we're going to get into those and try those out. So let's see who we got. Who we got here? Dr. Han, what's going on? This one looks fun. Woohoo! Steve with more Phantom Epoch. Kate, hello, hello. Board Game Officer says, Phantom Epoch, I choose you. So how's it going? How's it going? And Steve is still working on his computer pains, but he will be back into effect. He will be back stronger and better than ever. Hey Jess, what's going on? Hello, hello. Derek will probably have a better experience without me playing a stealth character and letting all the enemies attack. I am using your same character before, actually. I'm going to be using your exact same character. I can't remember if we bought equipment, so I was just like, should I just look through the equipment deck and grab something to show off equipment? And I think I will, so we see how it sets up. But I still will be using your same character. Tyson's a really cool guy. I've enjoyed working with him. He is. He's a really kind person and very patient. I think there was one time where Steve and I was going back for it. We were like, I don't know how this rule shakes out. Yeah, it's not really clear. And then we just pinged him, and he's like, I'll hop on. And he talked to us about it. He worked through, and then he said he'll update things to make it more clear. And so you know, that's how open he is and available he is to this passion project that he's definitely put a lot into. So I agree with you wholly. Okay, I don't have any information to give, and we'll just get straight to the table. But I am going to grab some equipment so you all can see how equipment works, since this is the last time it'll be at mine. I know we didn't buy some before, but I'll just grab some equipment from one of the equipment decks. I think we've been on Barkov most of the time, so I'll grab equipment from Barkov's deck so you can see how that plays through and how that aligns with characters. All right, let's get down to the table. Okay, so this is the table presence. I got my lovely stuff for the because so basically what you saw on the tabletops, if you watch that one, I know a lot of people don't like the digital medium for board gaming, which is fine, nothing wrong with it. But on there, he did have the adversary boards that were set up. Well, in the prototype, I don't have the adversary boards, but I do have the cards and everything that goes with it. So I put those I had to set those somewhere to where it wouldn't be a mess everywhere. So I set those here. But the adversaries that we're going to be facing in this scenario, I set over here, and I'll pull these up to the zoom in screen so you can see what those look like and get a good feel for what the cards are. So there's the species and then the class cards, which I think this is a beautiful setup. I really like this a lot. Where it's depending on the species, they will do something, and then depending on their class, they will do something else. And even in that class, they do multiple things, which I think I really like the adversary mechanic of this game a lot. I love that these are books. I am so over tiles and saying, okay, well, let's put this tile here and then build this out. Okay, well, I got to make room at the table. But I love that these are on books, so big win. I do have some feedback from just table presence setup. I do have some feedback, but by and large, I think I really like what's happening. And what's cool is it's separated into two books. So because what could end up happening is that you're on page 4 on this one, but page 6 on that one based on something that comes through. So I really like that he split that up so the board is kind of really, it's quite unique to the scenario that you're going to be going through. Hey, ID Jester, what's going on? What's going on? No more tiles. No more tiles. So, this is the expedition deck. So just to kind of let you know, just in the base prototype, look at all the expedition cards that you can get. If you haven't watched the previous one, I suggest you do. If you don't like the digital medium, that's perfectly fine as well. But in certain areas, you can go on expeditions, and on those expeditions, it's kind of story events. Think of it like if you've ever played Gloomhaven, think of it like city or road events, where you come up with something, you make a decision, you flip the card over and deal with what happens. But this is in space, so that's how that sets up. Hey, Brad, what's going on? What's going on? Hello, hello. All right, so we're going to get going. First, let me just show you these monster cards that are built up here, and I will get my pointer. I had to use my green pointer today because my usual pink pointer is in the book marking a spot. And that's one of my feedbacks is I need a reference card for a specific thing. Anyway, let's take a look at this monster. So this is a Grolic Sentry. So this is one of the creatures that we'll be facing. Let's break down this card a little bit, and we're going to go from top left to bottom, right? So the first thing that you see is a star. That's the level of monster that's there. So this Grolic is a level 1 monster. And it's a Grolic Sentry. That's what that star dictates. Yeah, this is a fun game. I think this is going to be a good one. It's just he needed to get more marketing on it, but this is really great. So you got the level 1 star, you got the name, the lovely art of the card, and then below that stuff that makes sense. How much health does this creature has? It starts off with 11 health. Guard 2, which means it has a shield of 2. Think of it like that. It's a shield of 2. So whatever you hit, you subtract from the shield. If you have Pierce, it subtracts from Guard, and then you do your hit through. So with attack, so it says attack 1. What that means is whenever it does its attack, it's going to do whatever it rolls +1 plus whatever the card says. So it sounds like, oof, that could be a nasty hit. In the Berserker, it is a nasty hit. For the Sentry, it could be something a little less nasty, but still rough. Range 1. So how far does it have to be? So it's not a ranged character, it's more melee. And then right below that, where you see where it says critical ability, gain barrier. Critical abilities, so on their die, there is a, let me see if this will show up on here. There is a crit, and that's what that looks like. So when rolling this die, which the creature will crit, and I never will, y'all know my dice rolling. Whenever you roll that crit, that ability kicks off, and this creature will gain barrier. And what barrier basically is, it says that they're immune to damage. For like the first time you hit them, you hit barrier. It doesn't matter how much damage you do. You could do 3,099,000 whatever and 1, and you will still just hit the barrier, and no damage will go to the creature. So that's kind of how barrier works. For our next creature that we're going to see, and I know I'm kind of putting the cart for a horse here, but I just kind of want you to see some of how these cards break down, and how the enemy AI, I think, is really well done. I just need a board for it, which he does have. Don't even put crit on the player's dice. We never roll them anyway. I know, right? So this is a Grolic Scout, which you see I'm going to Barkov, which is the Grolic homeworld, so I'll be facing a lot of Grolics. So this is the Grolic Scout, level 1, health 7, guard 1, attack. So the attack mod that he gets is nothing. So whatever he rolls plus the card effect is what's going to be going. But his range is 3, so he's a ranged attacker. Ouch. So his critical ability: remove any detrimental conditions, then gain resilience. And resilience basically, so basically, if I bleed on him, so he's got a lot. He's got the bleed effect, detrimental effect on him. He will lose it, then he'll gain resilience. So if I'm going to put another one on him, resilience will stop it and then go away. And these abilities don't end at the end of the round. They stay on until they're removed, and that works for me too. It's the same thing for me. We've also got a Grolic Archer. So level 1, health 7. Now this one is, look at the range 5. Attack, you will add a modifier 1 to it. Now look at that guard where it says -1. What that means is that when I hit them, because it's negative, I actually do an extra point of damage to them. So they're pretty squishy. They're pretty squishy, but they hit hard, because if they crit, they inflict bleed, which is an ongoing effect. That's not fun for anybody. All right, so let's see. So as you can see, I got everything set up to where we left off. I am going to grab some equipment. I believe that we were on Barkov the entire time. So this is, I just want to make sure. That's the tutorial mission. Barkov 1, which is what we did. Barkov 2, which is what we did, and we're going to be doing Barkov 3. So we've been on Barkov the whole time. So I'm going to grab some tier 1 gear, and I'm just going to give my characters some tier 1 gear so you can see how this shakes up. So how do you know it's tier 1 gear? Because the green screen identifier says, you see the part that's kind of fuzzying? That's 1 marker. There's 3 of them, right? So this is tier 1. Tier 2 will have 2 marks on them that are fuzzy that you can barely see because, you know, everyone makes the game with green screen on it. So you see where it says tier 2, and then tier 3 has the other one. So I'm just going to grab some rando tier 1 gear and see how that goes. So I'm just going to shuffle it up. I don't care. I'm going to grab like 2 pieces of gear each. I know by this time you probably will have 1 or 2, which is perfectly fine with the amount of great playing that you all do in board gaming. So, yay. All right. Okay. So we've got... Hey, Brian, what's going on? So we've got some Baronum Sabatons. So it costs 4 of the orbs. The name just jumped right out of my head. 4 of the orbs that you pick up from killing creatures. It costs 4 of them to buy it. That's what that 4 means. It will do -1 to your movement, and it says the character is immune to stunned and knockdown effects with them. So they're tough shoes. Actually, I don't know if I want that. Everything kind of screws up. Yeah, I don't want that. We got a rogue wouldn't wear something so silly. We'll grab the light Sabatons and about a vest. We'll grab the light vests. How about that? That'll be what we grab. The light Sabatons and the light vest. So let's take a look at the light Sabaton. Nope, that is the heavy one. Let's take a look at the light Sabatons. Here we go. So, they would cost 2 of those orbs that you find the currency of the game and the charge units of the game. So it would cost 2 to get them, and it says auto. The character would be inflicted with knockdown. That's the trigger. Then it auto fires. The character is not knocked down. But you see that one that's up in the top right over here? That means that it needs to be charged with one of these things. So how do you find these? You kill creatures. That's how you find them. You kill them, they drop them, you end your turn, there you pick it up. And so think of it like the gold from other games, but you just have to be adjacent to it to pick it up instead of end your turn on it. So both of them will get that. So we'll put that in their play area. And then finally, the other one is the light burnium breastplates, which costs 3. So this is also an auto. A melee attack completes against the character, so the character is going to take damage. Inflict knockdown on the attacker, so knock the attacker down. So this would be a charge set for those. And we put them in the slots that are designed for our characters. Now, what you're seeing here of the minis, what you're seeing is basically a 3D printed resin of the minis that Tyson did at his own house because the minis weren't ready when the prototype was ready to send off. So he just kind of printed the STLs on his own machine and sent them off. So they're not the greatest of quality, but they're not meant to. It's a prototype copy. When they're cast from the factory, they'll be a lot better. Cool. Okay, so Steve ended off with energy. I gave us some equipment. He had adhesive grips set up, and I had no money as how it's set. So let's go ahead and get started with our mission, and I'll explain everything as we go. Nope, this is not the mission that we should be in. All right, so there we go. So we'll fold this up. And this is Burkov 3, Warm Welcome. It's a difficulty mission of 2. We've got an introduction to read through to kind of set the pace for everything, and then we have our mission set, our mission event, and our event adversary that we're going to be dealing with. And it just says stop reading until any character opens a door at J7 or J9. So let's talk about what's going on. So introduction. Your attempt to diplomatically get answers from the Divine Emperor on Orbos has failed, and you still don't know why he wants you dead. Your trip to Thespara unveiled that someone on Barkov has been communicating with the Slink's glorious chieftain, who you now know is named Lindor. Not only that, they seem to have been expecting your arrival. We'd be expecting him to do. The voice theorizes that the one who sent the message to Lindor could be the ruler of Barkov. So when we basically, if you didn't watch the previous one, we woke up out of cryo sleep, and there's this voice that's trying to get us to do something. It led us to the Phantom Epoch, which is a derelict ship, but we're putting it back together, and it's going to be our home. And we're being and we are being chased by some malevolent force that we don't know what it is yet, and we're trying to figure it out. So whenever it says the voice theorizes, that means that whatever the entity was that's helping us is the voice. Or a really terrible Fox TV series. Although the planet is broken into hundreds of warring tribes, the entirety of Burkov is ruled by an omnipotent overlord. Nothing bad ever happened from listening to disembodied voices. Nothing at all. That's what I tell my D&D players. Just listen to the voice. You'll be fine. If it tells you to fight city guards, sure. At level 1. So the voice explains us as the Phantom Epoch once again approaches Burkov. One who encourages his people to fight each other is not likely to lend his aid willingly. Omnipotent Overlord, Glorious Chieftain, Divine Emperor, you think these pompous titles for each of the planet's most powerful rulers can't be a coincidence, especially not after hearing the message on Thespera. Every step of the way, you found more questions than answers. It's time for that to change. You decide, even if it means breaking down the Overlord's palace doors and beating the answers out of them. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I talk to myself. Does that count as a disembodied voice? Only if you answer yourself, Kate. If you do, I'm gonna have to have you committed. I'm just sorry. Well, but you're on CVT time, so I don't know if the voice that you're hearing is you. It might be a great old one. So, objective: we need to enter the palace. The Overlord's palace is a massive underground cavern. The only entrance is a bridge across a moat of lava. Lava's fun. It's fun to play with. You will be dropped outside the cavern, which is large enough that it will be straightforward to reach the bridge to the palace stealthily. Fools. Who do they think's playing this? This isn't the Steve mission. However, you will need to fight your way across the bridge and through the palace walls. There will be Grolok archers, scouts, and sentries in the way. So, mission start. You sneak your way into the caverns, which turns out to be the closest thing to a metropolis that can be found on Burkov. Grolics are clearly the predominant species here, but there are enough other species present to make it easy enough for anyone to blend in. You work your way through the cavern city to a large tunnel that leads to the Overlord's palace. The glow of lava illuminates the end of the tunnel as you near the exit. Grolics scouting the entrance raise an alarm the moment you come into view. Once again, you seem to be expected. There will be no more blending in. Boom. No stealth mission. Take that. So our mission event. What when it says trigger the mission event, what does that mean? So in this game, there are, and I need this, but I hate folding this. So in this game, there are round events that triggers that happen every single round. And of these, I'm going to shuffle these, and I'm going to take 5 out of here, and then I'll shuffle this horrible 6-tier deck, and put the 5 on top of this, and then that will be what this deck is, right? But every now and then on here, you will see something that says mission event, right, in green, because it can't be in anything else for streamers. So it will say mission event. So once that triggers, you then go to where the last section you left off that says mission event and do what it says. So basically, when that mission event triggers, it says the Grollis activate a trap on the bridge. Use the decision die result to select an adversary who has an empty space adjacent to it. That adversary places a trap on a space adjacent to them closest to an enemy. Adversaries are immune to traps placed by this event and treat them as empty spaces. If no adversary with an empty space adjacent to it is present, skip that event. And the event adversary is the scout. So that is one of the main event adversaries for what's going on here. So it says stop until we reach the doors. So we don't need to read the other side. But this is the map that is right here, and I love it so much. Tyson, you are amazing for doing this. So if you look on here, let me see if the zoom in will work. So if you look on here, you see where it says like 4, 2 to 4, 4, 3 to 4, 2 to 4, 2 to 4. So basically, how much ever players you have that are playing, that's how many enemies spawn in those areas. Got it? Got it. Good. So there is definitely a guard right here for 2 to 4 who has 11 health. There is definitely an archer for the 2 to 4 zone that is right here. And then there is a scout that just happens to be right there. So what you're seeing of these standees that are up here is just kind of, let me show y'all, let me see one that's a little bit better. Yep, nope, the yellow will be worse. Let's look at the red. So basically what Tyson has is he has these health counters that are on here. So remember, this guy has 11 health. So it's 10 and then 1. And whenever it goes down, you just pop it off. You just kind of pop it off, take this off, and then put this one on to just kind of say what's there. Now, I'm going to track their health with this, but our characters have one too, but I'm not going to track our health with it. I'm actually going to just use dice for our health on this one, which is perfectly fine. But I want y'all to see how this works for what's there. And he has extra spots on here to put in conditions when the conditions go. Hey, Kit Carpo, how's it going? So, okay, so let's get this going. So basically, I just need to take this 1 to 5 deck of horrible things happening. Shuffle these up, because, you know, there's no shenanigans on the stream. We shuffle for no shenanigans. And out of this, I'm gonna draw 5. Now there's more over here, but these are specific. These are specific things that when the game tells you to shuffle them in, you'll shuffle them in, and then when these trigger, they trigger. But as you can see in our mission setup, it didn't say to do any of that, so these will stay out. But those are events that are specific to missions that can get added in. So we'll shuffle these up. I'll draw 1, 2, 3, shuffle some more. 4, 5, and the rest are gone. Then from these, we're just going to shuffle these up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know why there's 11. Missing something. Yep, I knew it. There is a there it is. Like I have a horrible thing in there that I don't need to have in this game. So it should be 10 of these, 5 of the others for a total of a 15 player deck. So you shuffle these up. The 6 which are really bad. They're really, really bad. Then you shuffle up the 5. The 5s. Then you put this on top of that. And that is the event deck. All right, so that's our timer for the game. When that runs out, we're in lots and lots and lots of trouble. Okay, so where do we come in? Well, if you look here, you'll see these points that are here. We get to spawn in any of those zones. That's our starting position. So our human rogue will spawn here, and our human slink, well, not our human, our slink will spawn here. Now this is all in green for the character, so I have to hold it this way because my green screen will not see it. But important, if your character that you're going to use, there's a male and female character. They're the exact same. It's just male and female for inclusivity, which is great. But their health, so our Slink has 13 health. Our Slink also has an ability that says whenever we guard gets +1 against, we get +1 guard against ranged attacks. If a ranged attack shoots at us, we get +1 guard. So you see this AP, these action points, which is 11. We will get to that in a second, but I want to show you all of that. And from Steve's last play, he also had, come on, focus. There we go. He had the human who had 15 health and 10 AP, and says whenever converting an action card into a move action, add 1 movement point. And we'll talk about what that means in a second. So that is basically the player board. This is the player board that you have here. I did ask if it was going to be dual layer, but Tyson was saying because of costs, he wants to be very careful to not overpromise and underdeliver. So this iteration won't be dual layer board. It'll be thick. It'll be a thick board, but it won't be sunk in, so you could put stuff in there. But it's fine. The boards are fine. So basically, this is where our character card goes. We also have on these boards critical abilities. So for the healer has a special dashboard. This special dashboard belongs to the healer. And it says, when I crit, if the target is an adversary, remove 1 bandage from yourself or your ally. How healing works in this game is that you get a set amount of healing. And every time you heal a character, there's 2 bandage slots, right? So whenever you heal a character, they get a bandage put on one of these slots. When both of these are filled up, they can't heal. So this ability lets me remove those bandages so that I can continue to heal the character. So healing is limited. So when I'm playing the healing class, and healing is very limited. So just keep that in mind as you come up with your strategy for playing. You just can't keep popping, spamming heals and walk through a dungeon. Once you drop 2, you're done. And that's on both me or the other character as well. Whether it's a rogue, a warrior, or an archer. These are the base classes that you have. The rogue as well, as you can see that's sitting here, has these. Now you get a default ability for the rogue. It's called Hidden Bar, and it's a default ability that says when they crit, deal an additional 3 damage after the attack action completes. So basically, it's not part of the attack action; it's just a 3 after effect that happens, and this is a crit ability. Now, if you notice on here, she also has this crit ability of her class, which says that she gains invisibility. When you crit, one of the mistakes that we made on the last playthrough that was corrected by Tyson, thank you so much, was you can only pick 1 crit ability. You can't say, oh, I'm going to go invisible and hit you for 3. Nope, you either go invisible or hit you for 3, or whatever what the other crit abilities are. You choose what to do about that. As you pick up things in the Phantom Epoch from researching, which we opened up the laboratory, which we opened that up, which this is a Phantom Epoch board, and as you open, you actually pop these things out, and underneath tells you what to do. So like you see here, so that is a dual layer board for sure for the Phantom Epoch. All right, so and when we have another thing that he has is called adhesive grip. So this one says the character rolls if whenever the character rolls a fumble. So a fumble is a miss, just straight up you just missed a shot. So there's crits, there's misses, and there's everything in between. So when you roll a fumble, the fumble does not prevent performing subsequent attack actions. When you roll a fumble, your attacks are done. You're basically your turn's done. Just call it. You can move, but that's all you can do. I think actually I don't even think that's possible. And Steve, correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I think that all your attacks fail. So if you have a card that does multiple attacks, all the when you fumble on the first one, you don't get to do any of the other attacks. So the card action is wasted. That one on there means that it needs to be charged. Yeah, I think you can still move. Thanks. Yeah, but this one that's on here means that you can still you have to charge it to be able to use this ability. So it's not like, okay, well, if it's not charged, then you can do whatever you want. Nope, you have to charge it. And the only times you can charge is before a mission or when you rest. But correct, fumble cancel current and all later attacks. Yep, yep. Thank you, Steve. So, as you can see, he has some abilities like the boots and stuff that can be charged. But when you pick these up, you can charge stuff with them. Hey, Barrett, what's going on? And our lovely healer has this wonderful ability called Hemorrhage Inducer and inflict bleed on people. A crit. Yay. All right. Okay, so we've got the board, our characters there. Now let's talk about initiative. So first thing we do is we need to prep everything, which means we grab the first card off here. This is the first, this game is played over a series of rounds. And here's the first thing you have to do is draw a time card. And then you flip it over, but like I said, because it's green for reasons, I will hold it up and it says, hey, look, it's quiet, nothing happens. Don't even worry about it this round, you're all good. So that plays. Then we have to roll our decision die. What the decision die's purpose is, and if you can see it has locations, north, south, east, west, that type of thing. The purpose of this decision die is to say, if you want to know what the enemy is going to do, this is what they're going to do. So you always roll the decision die at the beginning of a round. So we'll roll it. And it rolled into east and then north. So basically it's if the enemy is going to target people who are equidistant, it'll target the eastern person. If nobody's there, it'll target the north person. So that's how it goes. So the decision has been made. The travelers arrived. All right, we'll get into these dice in a little bit. So once that's done, then we prep the adversaries. Well, we know that there's an archer, a scout, and a sentry that's coming out, and we're gonna basically shuffle up the species deck and those decks as well, so that you can see how they're gonna operate. Okay, so Grolix, all Grolix, and they get their own card when you pull them out. They all operate, and this is how you determine initiative. Grant, it also helps for some mission events, etc. The decision is one of the things that makes the system smooth. Exactly, Brandon. Thank you so much. Exactly. What up? When you use the mod on Tabletop Simulator, it is so well scripted that a lot of the stuff is done for you and you just jump right into the action. But when you play it on the table, it's a different feel. So, but I still love this enemy AI. I think it's great. I think this is a very nice... I don't know if... I mean, maybe people who have been playing board games way longer than me have seen this done before. I haven't seen it done this way before, but I really like how it's done. Yeah, that's what's about to happen to me, Brandon. That's what's about to happen to me. The AI is very good. Alright, so we'll shuffle these up. Alright, so the enemy... So basically, they're prepped. Everything's prepped. Now, we get into my turn, right? What we have to do is we have to work out initiative. You get 10 cards, and you can look at all of them. This that you see here is the upgrade deck. So if you want to see how that works, look at the last video. But you get all... You can look at every card in your hand. They're all available to you. And let me actually go with the purple one, because this will be... The shadow one, because this will be easy to see, which is... I'll show you Steve's favorite card. Where is it? Here it is. This is Steve's favorite card. It's called Kanji's gonna take all the hits this round. So it's called Into the Shadows. So let's break down the anatomy of this card from top left all the way to bottom. So first of all, you have your class symbol to let you know what class this belongs to, which this is the rogue class, and that's what that symbol means. Then the name of the card, which is Into the Shadows. Then you see this card. There's a picture of a foot and 3. This would normally tell you that 3 means that you can move 3 with this card if you use it. That is correct. And this is the one thing to keep in mind. It's also your initiative. So here's how this works. I'm gonna use this card. It's probably not gonna. It's probably gonna show. Yeah, it's gonna show awful there. Let me zoom in here while this exists. I can put them side by side so you can see. Now you see here where it says AP10. You see that number that's over there, that 3? Whatever I can play how much ever cards I want. I can play as much cards as I'm able to, as long as that number total on all cards does not exceed 10. That's how AP works. So right now, if I just want to play that one card, I can play it because it's less than that, but I can play more. I can actually play. Let's see, I can't go over 10, right? I could play that along with this card, and all I do is just add those 2 numbers up, and it's 5. Remember, that's less than 10. So as long as every round, as long as the cards you play do not exceed your AP number, you can play as many cards as you want. And they will work out, which I really, really love about this. I really like that. I love that aspect about it. So for here, let's go back to the anatomy of the card. So for here, you're seeing it say, okay, well, Into the Shadows, a little blurry. There we go. There we go. So for me, Into the Shadows, it takes 3 off my initiative if I want to use it. But if you don't want to do it still goes towards your initiative no matter what. But if you're like, okay, well, I don't want to move 2 and gain invisibility. Instead, I just want to move. You can convert this card to a movement card. It still costs 3 of your AP. That doesn't change. But you can then use that 3 as actual movement to move 3 spaces. It took me multiple scenarios to break the habit of playing exactly 2 cards every round. Yeah, Brandon, it's the same. Yeah, like Steve's saying, we did the same thing too, but I think we ended up playing 3 cards around after a while. Man, this has caught my interest. My interest pool includes heavy games, cards and dice, campaign, colors, tables, presents, and space. So, it includes every board game. Which is me. That's me. All right, so if you don't want to use it for that 3 movement, which still counts against your AP, you will use it for what's stated here, which it says I will move 2 and I will gain invisible. When you're invisible until the end of your next round, or you make an attack. And invisibility just means creatures don't see you and they stab your friends in the face. Thanks, Steve. So, and there are cards that help with movement. Let me show you this one. So this one here, it's a sprint card. It costs 2 of your AP. You can move, but it's a move 4. So you could use it to move up to 4. You don't have to move the full 4. Or you can move it 2 if you want, which would make sense, but that's how the card is structured. Alrighty. So we've got all that stuff. Now we need to determine initiative. The number that your total is will be your initiative number. So, for instance, remember before, let's use our example again where we played Phantom and Into the Shadows, which had 5. That means our initiative, the initiative for my human rogue will be 5. Whatever I commit here, then what we do is we give each creature a species card and a class card, and we add those numbers up to determine their initiative. So, but we can't look at it first. So once again, get your Gloomhaven hat on. We can't look at what's happening first. We have to determine what's going to happen. So let's say I'm definitely going to do Into the Shadows. And going to do a throwing knife. And I think that a... Yep, that may be. Sorry to duck out so fast, Family Zone. Looking forward to seeing more later. All right, Barrett, take care, take care. So I'm going to be playing for the Rogue. I'm going to be playing Throwing Knife, which is range 4. So at range 4, I will do an attack, roll a die, and we'll talk about the different dice in a second. But it's ranged. And then I'm also playing this. Now the total of these two cards is 6, which is below my AP. So therefore, my initiative for the Rogue will be 6. Now if you're playing multiplayer, you're not supposed to, you can't say, all right, well, my initiative is going to be 6. So there it goes. Nope, you got to do it like, well, I'm going to go middle of the road. Well, I'm going to go early. There are modifiers. We'll talk about that when we do the attack kit. I want to like walk through it slowly so you can see how it works out. There is a modifier. Or I want to do, you can't say your initiative number, but you can give hints to when you're gonna go. So that's gonna be when my rogue's gonna go. My healer gonna get hit really hard. So let me protect myself first. Yeah, that'll work. So my healer's stuff is going to be, I'm going to do preemptive measures. So I'm going to apply resilience and barrier to myself. Because I don't want to get hit from what's about to come through from someone going invisible. And I've got rush to their aid, which is move 6, but I must end in a space adjacent to an ally. And that is 7 is my initiative. So 5 and 2, 7. All right. After we've said that and we're like, we're done, we're ready to go, that's when you draw these. So each character will gain a Grolix species card and then 1 card from their class. And then you reveal that, and that will tell you what their initiative is. So, for instance, let's flip them all over. All right. I think this is cool. I know a lot of people are going to be like, this seems like a lot, but once the boards are out, that he has the boards created for you to lay them on, I think this is so stinking cool. It's crazy. All right. So first off, this Invincible Growlic. So this is the Archer. Invincible Growlic. 5. Right? So that's 5. The Growlic is immune to detrimental conditions. Remove any such conditions already on the Growlic at the start of the round, including conditions that normally interrupt round effects. So this is, you see that R that's there? The R that's in the, that means that it immediately takes effect. Boom, it starts going, and it's going for the entire round. So this Growlic Archer's initiative is 5, and you're like, man, that's less than what you have, but it's not just 5. So let's take a look at the board, and this is why color matters. So if you look at our Growlic Archer who's here, he has a yellow base. You see that yellow base that's on here? So that's when you take a look at this card, and you say, what is this character going to do? Well, he has that other 5 that's there. That other 5 is also his initiative. So basically it's 5 for the Invincible Growlic card, and then 5 for that ability, for a total of 10 for his initiative. So his initiative is 10. And when he acts, he will act as the color of his base. So his base is yellow, so he will do Precise Shot. He will attack and pierce 3. You got no movement, buddy. That is sad for you. This other Growlic has Defensive Stride. So his guard automatically goes up by 1. Well, his guard was 1 on the scout. It will go to 2. I'm happy we don't have synchronized swimming attacks. They all do something different. So, this Defensive Stride, so his initial one is 4, he gets an extra guard, and he actually can move on his turn, move 2. And this scout, which is here, is this one. This one looks a lighter gray to me, so it is blue. I was talking to Tyson about this because I am colorblind to the side of spectrum where I can't tell the differences between blue and purple, and I can tell the differences in I can tell the strong differences in blue. So like if there is a light blue and a super dark blue, I can tell the difference. But in this scenario, that is both of those are blue. One is just like slightly grayer. So I'm assuming that is the lighter color, and I'm just saying that's gray for what's up there. But he and I have been talking a lot about accessibility and how we can help with that. So here we have this is called Disabling Strike, and it's kind of fuzzed out a little bit, but attack -1, and if you're able to hit, you will inflict stun on the creature, which is terrible. Your initiative, which is a 4 and a 3, is 7. So this creature's initiative will be 7. And finally, we have the last Growlic, who will have Lumbering Charge. He'll move 3, and his attack will be -2. So whatever damage he'll do, he'll -2 from it as part of the modifier set for it, but it's 4. So his initiative is 4, and he is a red one. So because he is a red one, he will be doing Stoic Defender. So guard +1 to self, adjacent non-sentry allies, and adjacent objects. If adjacent to the primary target, attack -2, otherwise move 3 towards the closest ally. So 4 and 3 is 7. So this is actually pretty advantageous, right? We know that how can I utilize this? I think my counters, I can utilize my counters. It probably might pull out Marvel United stuff, will it? Yeah, it pulls out Marvel United stuff. Let me see if I can get some counters out to do this. Counters. Oh, my eyes are killing me. And then I can hide that token. Not. Of course, you're not evil. Why would you be? Only a game. Okay, so then we'll come out of studio mode. Then we'll show it. All right. Oh, that's awful. That is just awful. Here we go. All right, so initiatives, and we'll do the archers at the top is 7. 7. The other one is no, it's 10. Sorry, 9, 10. Ugh. The other one is 7, and the other one is. So that's their initiative. There we go. Over here. Okay, so that is their initiative. I did not prepare properly, so don't judge me. Okay, so that is their initiative from top to bottom. And so our initiative, remember, her initiative is 6 and mine is 7. When you have a tie, we go first. So because it's 6, I kick first. So therefore, I'm going to do an attack range 4. All right. So how does attacking work in this game? All right. Let's zoom back in so you can see stuff. So we've got these 3 dice. We've got the normal attack, the epic attack. I don't go for names. And then we have the accuracy die. So if I'm shooting someone through an obstacle, I have to roll the accuracy die. And if I roll this, I hit. I roll that, guess what? I don't. And if I roll that, I just straight up miss the shot. So archers, range fighters who are shooting through objects have to roll that die for every object you're shooting through to get to your target, whether it is enemy or ally that's doing it. Then we have this die, which is the crit chance go epic die, And on this die, there are one, two chances to crit, and one, two, three chances to fumble. But the modifiers are also four, five, three, four, and five, respectively. So big risk, big reward if you go through this and get a crit. If you don't feel spry, you can roll the regular die, which has one crit and one fumble, but numbers in between. So you have a 1 in 8, right? This is a D8, right? 1 in 8 chance to fumble, 1 in 8 chance to crit, and the rest is hit. So I'm doing my ranged attack from here to here. There is no obstacle in the way, so I don't have to roll the accuracy die. So I'll just roll the regular die that I'm going to roll to see if I hit or not. And I rolled a 3. So what that means is I attack. I don't have any modifiers on here for this. I rolled a 3, so I've inflicted 3 damage. We take a look at the scout card. Remember the lovely scout card that we had before? So the scout says, I can hide this counter for right now. So the scout card says that they have a guard of 1. So remember, I hit them for 3. They have a guard of 1. Then, on their character ability here, it says that they get +1 guard. So that means their guard went up 2. And I've hit them for 3. Their guard blocks 2 of them, so I only hit them for 1. So this one creature here suffers 1 damage of 7. It bees like that sometimes. This card goes into discard, and then we're going to do our move 2 and gain invisibility. So we'll move 1, 2 here, and then we will gain invisibility. And basically it is what it says it is. We are invisible until the end of our next round, or until we make an attack. And that will end the human turn. Cool, we're good. We're solid, we're good. Now we are invisible, so whatever the creatures want to do, they can't do it to us. Then it is my turn because I have 7 and their lowest one is 7, so I'm gonna go before them because I don't feel like getting hit. So I'm gonna play my rush to their aid, move 6, move up to 6, must end in a space adjacent to an ally. So I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna move there, right? I'm adjacent to my ally. And then I will play preventive measures, which I will apply resilient and barrier to myself. So resilience means any negative effects that are going to get inflicted on me are not going to get inflicted on me. They'll hit resilience and then that'll go away. And barrier says that any damage that's going to come to me will not go to me. It will go away. And so I have resilience and barrier, and that ends my turn. Now we go to the creatures. We go to the determination of a creature's turn. So what was the determination? It was east. So the easternmost will go first, right? Of the 7 of the 2 tied. So the determination die says east and then north. Well, the most eastern one is this. The archer's 10, so it's this guy. So that guy's the easternmost one. So he'll go first. What's he gonna do? Well, his card says that he would move 3. So 1, 2, 3. And that's just this lumbering charge card. He would move 3 and then attack 2. However, his attack is what? Melee. So he can't attack me. So therefore, the attack is wasted. Then we go to what he would do on his ability card. Remember, he's red. So he would do Stoic Defender. So he would do +1 to self, adjacent non-sentry allies, and adjacent objects. If adjacent to a primary target, attack 2, otherwise move 3 towards the closest ally that you have. So he's going to shore himself up some more, give himself some more guard, and then he's going to continue to move 3 towards the closest ally, which is determination, right? Now, this is an interesting one, Brandon, Steve. This is an interesting one. Because the determination die says east and then north, would he move back to where he was? Because it says move 3 towards the closest ally, and I think he's equidistant, right? Oh no, he's not. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2. He would move here. Never mind. He would move here. Never mind. So he would move there, but that ends his turn. He's not attacking anybody. Then we come up with the next 7-1, which is the Grolic Scout. The Grolic Scout will move 2, but doesn't need to. I'm right here in its target range, so it doesn't need to move at all. And then it will kick its lovely ability of light, gray, whatever. And so it will attack -1. Enemies always roll the blue die. They will never roll the insane crit to try to kill you die. And it says if it hits, it'll inflict stunned. It's not going to hit. So let's go ahead. So it's an attack -1. And we'll talk about more about what else it piles on. So it's going to roll. And it's a 3. So it rolled a 3. 3 -1, 2. So it'd be 2 to hit me, right? If we look at its card, does it add any other modifiers to its attack? No, because its attack is 0. So it would try to do that to hit me. It really wants to. But I've got Barrier. So Barrier says, no thank you. I don't want any damage. You can keep that. And I don't suffer any damage, and I don't suffer stunned. Mooha. Mooha. And that will end its turn. Then finally, it is the archer's turn. Now, these objects that you see here, you see how thicker these borders are here? That means they're destructible objects. So you can't walk through them. You can go around them. But for the case of targeting ranged, I never target ranged, so Brandon and Steve, if y'all know, can I shoot through them? I've never, I really, oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yep, and because you took no damage, it doesn't even eat your resilient token. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't block line of sight. I just popped this open, and look at the example. Growlic Archer to human. Yeah, you can. You definitely can shoot through that. So it will have to roll the die for every spot that it's shooting through to hit me. Let's see if it can hit me. All right, so let's talk about the fumble die and how this stuff works. Not the fumble die, sorry, the accuracy die. So this character shoots at range 5. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh, can it even hit me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't hit me. It can't hit me. Ah, take that, jerk. It can't hit me because its range is 5. And let's zoom in. I keep zooming out. I probably should just stay zoomed in. But its range is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are invisible. This one's invisible. So it's trying to hit this one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. So, yay. So it doesn't move, and it's immune to conditions for this round, so the archer does nothing, basically. There's no movement, no nothing. It is sad, and it will remain sad the rest of it. Alright, so that ends the round. That's one round of play that we just went through of this game. So at the end of the round, we discard these into the species discard pile. And then we discard these into their respective... There's a lot of components to this game. A lot of components. And you don't see it when you're on the Tabletop Simulator mod. But you definitely feel it when you have it on the table. So that is a round of combat. So then we're going to go to the next round of combat, which is what? We draw from this deck, and it says quiet, nothing happens. Then we roll the decision die. It is west and north. He's going to have to lighten up this for sure. But west and north. Then we're dealing with initiative. So you don't get the two. Every card that you spend goes in your discard pile. So you're kind of whittling down your hand. However, in this game, which I really like, is that all you have to do is take a rest action, which gives you an initiative of 1, not 99, 1. So you go for first, you rest, you get all the cards in your discard back, and that ends your turn. And any rest effects that you have that you acquire on your board when you rest, those fire as well. But in this case, I'm still good to go. I'm still good to play, so I'm going to continue on. That one. That one. So my initiative for me is going to be 8. For the healer, I'm going to play Poison Strike, which is a 4 attack. I inflict weaken. Remember, my AP is 11. So I inflict weaken, and then here I'll say one ally within range 5 performs an attack 1. Now that's at 8. I could play a 3 or less one, but the only 3 one I have is a move, which I really don't care to use right now. So my initiative will be 8, and remember, resilience stays on. And then my Phantom dude, he's got sneak attack. Where is it? Where is that sneak attack? Here, the sneak attack. And do... Ooh. Yeah. we'll do the old Steve oldie but goodie. We're gonna do a sneak attack, which says attack. So do an attack times 2 damage if the attack is performed while invisible, and I'm presently invisible. And this lovely add-on that says play in conjunction with any one attack action, and that attack gains Pierce 4. Yeah, cutting through all shields with this nonsense. So that is of 7. So it's 8 and 7 respectively. So then we draw a new set of cards, species cards, set of class cards. Let's flip it over and see what we got. So the archer has a cumbersome run. So initiative starts at 3, move 4. And then it, what color is that one? Yellow. And then it will do a precise strike, attack, pierce 5. So that's a 5. So 5 plus 3, that's 8. Still go. All right. Then the next one, we have another cumbersome run. That is a move 4 for the scout. And the scout is that lightish grayish blue, which is at the bottom. So it will attack, inflicting blinded or flashbang. So that's a 4, and so that's a 7. So you will go before the healer, but after the rogue. And then this one is a 4. It automatically guards up. This automatically takes effect because of the R. With a move 2 for a 4, and you are red. So that is another stoic defender. That sucks, which is a 7. So the rogue gets to go first, at least. So the rogue has a 7, gets to go first. Gonna be a tough one, but let's see how it goes. So I'm gonna play both of these in conjunction. I'm gonna play sneak attack with find vulnerability in tow. So it's gonna be doing an attack, and since I'm invisible, it's gonna get doubled, basically times 2 times, and it'll gain Pierce 4. And I will attack. I'll attack the scout because the scout looks like it's gonna do some nasty damage. So let's attack the scout. Big bucks, no whammies. 2. I rolled a 2. So that is 4 damage. This creature has a guard of 1, but I have a pierce 4. So that don't matter. But I'm going to hit it for 4. Taking it to 5. Taking it to 5 damage. It's going to be at 5 damage on it. And I will lose invisibility because I attacked. And that is the end of my turn. Really wish I could have gotten Phantom down. Alright. I need the crit. So anyway, so that is 7. My initiative is 8. So sadly, I don't get to go first. We will deal with West. The westernmost creature will activate first. The westernmost creature is the Scout. So the scout's going to activate first. The scout is going to move 3. It doesn't need to. It's going to attack, inflict blinded. So it says, well, they're equidistant. How do you choose? The decision die west. So it's going to attack her, which is perfectly fine because she has resilience on, so she will not take blinded. That effect will not go away, but she's still going to get hit. So it's going to roll an attack, which means it'll roll the blue die. And it crit. Of course it crit. Of course it crits. Ha! Alright, let's find out what happens when you crit. So, when you crit, what do? Remove any detrimental conditions, then gain resilience. So this Growlithe will gain resilience. There's no detrimental damage on it, so that's what happens. So it's going to do an attack. It rolled a 3 crit, so that means it would do 3 damage and inflict blinded. But because I have resilience, I will not suffer blinded. But I am going to take the 3 damage, which is still going to hurt. And it doesn't have a modifier for the attack, so it's just 3 damage coming on to me. So I'm down to 10 health. So basically, I am down to 10 health. Of course, I told you I'm going to roll crit for these enemies. And that is the Growlithe Scout's turn. It didn't need to move at all, and it doesn't have an ability to move away. So next up is going to be the Sentry's turn. And the Sentry doesn't need to move because target-rich environment. And it's going to guard everybody again. But then it'll do, if adjacent to the primary target, which the primary target is going to be you, attack -2, otherwise move towards the closest ally. So it's going to attack the closest person, which is this. The primary target is the closest person. So it will be an attack -2 that's incoming. We're going to roll this die. This time I'm going back to this tray. It crit again. I critted 2 times for the enemy. This is going to be... Yeah, I just crit again. I can't roll crits for me, but I roll crits for everything else. So when this guy crits, he gains barrier. Yay! So any damage I do to him is... My first attack against him will just get rid of barrier. So he gains that. And then his attack is 3 - 2. His modifier is actually 1. So this is mods. His attack mod is 1. So it's a 3. So it's a 3 plus 1. So it's 4. -2. So it's 2. So I'm going to take 2 damage on a rogue. Rolled crit twice now. Cool. Cool. So now this the archer's initiative is 8, but so is mine. I'm gonna use my turn. Thank you. Alright. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spot an opening. One ally within range 5 performs, then attack 1. I'm gonna have the rogue attack this creature to get rid of... I can't inflict you with weaken. Yeah, I'm gonna have the rogue... do I want to do that? No, I don't. I'm going to just straight up attack it. Yeah, I'm gonna attack it. I'm gonna attack it, and it would inflict weaken on this creature, but it has resilience, so it won't inflict weaken. So we'll attack straight up. Let's roll a die and see how we do. I rolled a 2. Sweet. It has, because this creature activated its guard, so it says guard +1 to self, adjacent non-sentry allies, and adjacent objects. So your guard, the scout's guard is 1, and then because of that +1, the scout's guard is 2, which means that does nothing. Nothing. It blocks it completely. I should have gone for broke on that one. Then I'll just have my ally do an attack +1 with spot an opening to the same creature. I rolled a 2 + 1, which is 3, so 1 damage gets through because of the guard that the creature that the other one gave. So 1 damage gets through, which means it's at 6. I cannot kill this creature to save my life. All right, then it is the next creature's turn. They will move for 1, 2, 3, 4, which is all they need to shoot. And then they will attack Pierce 3. The closest target. Yeah. Hey, Matthew, what's going on? It might have been a good time for a blitz die, and I didn't do it. I should have done it. I really should have. You're right. So it is an attack range 5, Pierce 3. I have no shielding, so it's whatever it's gonna be. So the closest target is the one that's going to shoot, which is the rogue. So it's going to shoot the rogue, and it will roll the blue die. And is this a 3-character crit this turn? 4, even worse. So 4 damage, plus 1 for attack modifier, so a total of 5 damage coming into hitting you, my friend. So that's gonna hurt. You're at 7 damage. That's not healthy. You have 15 health, so 8 health left. Oof, oof. Okay, that ends the round. So you get a sense of how this goes. I'll use the blitz die on the next round so you can see how this works. So that ends that. Clean up this. These up. Hang on to their abilities. That does not go away. So then we draw our next card, which says quiet, nothing happens. The 1 to 5s are usually pretty quiet. When you get into the reds, that's when it gets really hard. Hey, Matthew, this game looks cool. My wallet just sighed. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. If that's the case, it would come here, and then it would have to roll the accuracy die. And it does hit. I did roll a hit. So that's the range that it needed. If you say close enough, it'll probably go right there. Sorry, it'll go right there. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's what it would do. All right, so let's do determination. West and north again. Then I don't know what to tell you. That's where it would go. If it doesn't want to be in there. So yeah. I say it would go there and shoot. All right, so then we go to initiative. Well, somebody's hurting. Let's do heal 3. Initiative's just gonna have to be so it's 8. Yeah, let's do these two. So you're gonna watch me play 3 cards. So 8, 9, 10. So it's 4, 4, 2. So that's 10. Initiative's 10. The rogue's initiative. Oh, only that the range to target. Gotcha, Brandon. Gotcha. I understand. I understand. I think I want to do these two. See how this goes. I'm going to try this out and see how this goes. I'm going 7 again. So 7 and 10. Let's deal with this. We've got the Grolic archer who has lumbering charge with a 4, and then that is yellow. So then attack -1 and then retreat 2, so it would run away like a jerk. But that is 7, so doesn't beat my initiative yet of my rogue. The scout has a 3, and you are light blue, which makes me happy. Because look what it gets. Strike and fade. It would gain invisible and run away. It would attack and then gain invisible, but it's 7. So the rogue is going to try to kill it. And then finally, we've got you. Oh no. Lumbering charge, move, attack. So this attack is 1 attack. And then it's red, so it gets shield wall. Adjacent allies and objects use the higher of their adversary's guard value on their own. If adjacent to the primary target, attack 2. So it gets a second attack. So it's going to attack twice. And its initiative is a 4 and 2, which is 6. Oh, my initiative is 7. So that means the Grolic Sentry goes first. So it doesn't need to move. And it will just do an attack -2. So I rolled a 3 -2, which is 1, but it has a modifier of 1, which makes it 2. So it's 2 damage coming to the rogue. The rogue is at 9 of 15. Ugh. Then adjacent allies and objects use the higher of this adversary's guard. So basically the scout now has a guard 2. And then if adjacent to the primary target, which it is, it's going to attack again. -2. That's a crit. That's a crit, my friend. I just rolled another crit for the enemy. This is going to be a short game. Real short game. So usually its crit ability would give it a barrier, but it can't have more than 1 barrier. So that crit, so it just gets the 3 -2, which is 1, plus the 1 mod, which is 2. So that puts it at 11. 11 of 15. Again. Oh, Brandon. You have no idea how I roll here. So that will end that. So now it's the rogue's turn. And the rogue is going to... Let's show you how the blitz die works. So the rogue's going to do fight dirty. It's going to be an attack -1 on this creature to basically, well, shoot, you got shield 2, huh? That means I would have to roll a 3 or higher to kill this creature. Adjacent allies and objects use the higher of this adversary's guard. So basically I need to roll a 3. Crits do ignore guard? I didn't know crits ignore guard. That's new for me. I thought crits just give you extra abilities. But we're gonna try. We're gonna use the blitz die to try to see how we're gonna do. So this is either going to be this attack. I think on the blitz die. Actually, I'm scared. I'm really scared. Because when you flub on the blitz die, is that all attacks or all attacks on the card? And that's what Steve and I were talking about. Like when you fail on it, a fumble causes the attack to miss entirely and leaves the attacker so off balance that they cannot perform any further attacks during their current turn. A fumble is treated as having a value of 0. Yep. So let's do the blitz die last, shall we? I will do instead. I will do a regular attack with bleed, and we're gonna roll that and see how we do. So let's just try to kill that guy, and I need a 3. I need a 3. If I don't roll a 3, it's for nothing. I'm just curious, if I rolled the blitz die, what would it have been? A 5. Of course it would have been a 5. So, no more attacks for me. Oh, wait. The equipment. I got some equipment for this. This. It says the fumble does not prevent performing subsequent attack actions. So I will spend this and be able to do my other attack. Oh my gosh, and I'm blitzing this. If this flubs, I'm going to be pissed. Crit! Crit! Crit on the blitz die! So I crit, which is enough to kill this creature, so this creature's dead. Resilience means nothing to me. And when I crit, I gain invisibility. Peace out, people. Peace out. Oh, wait. I won't be able to heal. Because you're invisible. I'll read what invisibility means to allies. So I will go invisible. I'm out. I kill the creature, and I'm out. And when the creature dies, they drop one of these tokens, boop, in their place. And when I end because my turn is ending as I go invisible, I'm adjacent to it, so I get to pick it up. I'll still be able to heal. Sweet. So this creature is done. So then yours is 8 and mine is 10. So the archer is going to go next. Well, you're invisible, so that means this is my target. And you will move through. Your range is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got range to me. So you need to roll the accuracy die to see if you can. Well, let's just do it all together. We're just going to do it both together. And you are doing a attack minus. First, you're doing an attack -2, and then you're going to do an attack -1 on me. So here we go. So you do hit me. This one is an attack -2, so it's 4. So then it's 2, but you have a mod of 1, so it's 3 damage coming in. So I'm up to 6. And then you will attack again, and this time retreat. And this time it's an attack -1. So let's roll again. You hit, and it's the same damn thing that I rolled. So this one is a -1, so it's 3. So it's 4, actually. 4 damage I'm taking. I'm up to 10 damage, people. On a 13. That hurts. They're hitting me hard. And then retreat 2. 1, 2. You run away. Alright, so my turn. This is why I brought heal cards for everyone. So I'm going to first place Healing Mist to heal you for 3. Down to 2. Hey, at least no crits. Then I will heal myself for 3, taking me down to 1. And then all I have here is movement, right? So I'm going to convert this to movement. Oh, wait, I gain +1 guard against range attacks. I gain +1 guard because of my ability. So that would let me go... that would let me... And with healing, I got to remember the bandages. So I healed you, so you gain a bandage. And I healed me, so I gain a bandage. And then I got to remember... he attacked for 4, should have been 3, so this would be at 6. And he hit me another time, which would have been another, so this would have been at 5. So, there. I did it. Yep. Alright, and then with this card, because I can't do the attack, I'm actually going to just use the movement of 4. Move 4. So I'm actually going to move right here. Hide out behind this guy, and we're going to try to wail on him. Okay. That's going to end my turn. All turns are done. And this scout is removed. Get back over here with your Grolic buddies. Up. Scouts. Back over there. We have a recent art. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Mission events. Something happens. Something's happening. Mission event. The Grolics activate a trap on the bridge. Use the decision die result to select an adversary who has an empty space adjacent to it. That adversary places a trap on a space adjacent to them, closest to an enemy adversary are immune. So west, so it would be this one who places a trap. I don't think I have trap tokens for what I have, so I'm going to use this as a trap. And it says adjacent to an ally, so it drops a trap right there. And then that's cool. Okay. Then we roll the decision die, which is east and south. And then we're on initiative sets. I'm not looking too hot. I'm going to play these 2 cards, which is 9 initiative, which is a heal in that. So I'm going to play that. And what do you got? Could work. That could work. Let's get this down. So we're going to do attack 1, attack 3, attack +3 instead if another ally is also adjacent to the target, which is great. And then I'm also going to put down this upgraded card, which is performing. So ongoing effect, that's what the infinity symbol is. anytime I performing attacks does not take me out of invisible. So next time I do invisible, it'll be there. This is a 6. We do 1 up here, and then when this runs out, we shuffle this and draw a new. This math isn't too difficult, neither. It will be plus or minus the square root of b. It's not bad. You get used to it, which is why I was saying, like, once the boards are there, it becomes a lot easier to just kind of shift your gaze and do this stuff. And the story seems pretty interesting too. I want to know what's hunting us, because right now we're going kind of planet to planet doing stuff. There we go. There we go. So the archer is going to bowl over, move 4, move through the primary target and as many other enemies as possible, inflict 1 damage and knock down on all enemies move through. If the primary target is no longer in range, select a new primary target before resuming normal any movement that you have, and that's a 7. Okay, so and you are yellow, so 10. So your initiative is 10. So you're gonna attack again and retreat 2. Initiative 10. This big bastard. Move 4 for 3. Once again, attack. This is just a regular attack for 3, so it's 6. Well, guess what? I go first. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down this persistent effect. Will always go, and then I will shoot. This is going to hit the barrier. It's such a waste, but whatever. It's such a waste because it's going to hit the barrier. I should have played later instead of going first, but let's see if we can crit. Which won't matter. We're gonna go all out for this because I don't think it matters. 4. So it would have been 7 damage on this creature, but it has barrier. And barrier says the next time the figure would receive any damage, remove this condition token instead. So that 7 is wasted. And that's awful. That's just a terrible thing that happened. I won't lose invisible for performing that attack, but at the end of my turn, I do lose it. Okay, you've got 6, so you go next. Well, you're gonna attack. It is what, east, and then south. So I get to. So it would be her. So you're just going to do a regular attack. 3, rolling the blue die. So that's a 3. So that's a 3 hit. You have +1 mod, so that's 4 damage incoming that I can do nothing about. That's all you do. You're done. Then what is mine? Mine is 9. Yours is 10. So I go next. I'm gonna heal for 5. That's what I'm gonna do. So I heal for 5, gain another bandage here, so I can't get healed again unless I use my ability. Once per mission, which is what I'm actually going to do. I don't think I'm going to use it on me. I'm going to hang on to it. I'm going to attack. If target is an adversary, recover HP on self or adjacent ally equal to the amount of HP the target loses. So I got a healing, invigorating strike. And you know I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Blitz die till I die. Let's do it. Blitz die heaven. I miss, man. I got a 5. What? That's right. So that's a 5. So that is 5 coming onto this creature. So first let's deal with damage. It has a guard of 2. So it would be 3 damage coming onto it. It takes 3 damage. Then my card says, if target is an adversary, recover HP on self or adjacent ally equal to the amount of HP the target loses. So it lost 2, so the rogue will heal 2, gaining another bandage on the rogue. I will then, before my turn ends, this says once per mission, remove 2 bandages from a self or adjacent ally. Using this, flipping it over, move these 2. So now I can I can continue to heal the rogue. Okay, that was fun. That was the good. Plus yay damage. All right, so let's do the archer's turn. So the archer is going to move forward, trying to get in range to run us over. So the bowl over, this one kind of dominates that whole stay within range thing because it says I'm trying to get to the enemies to move through them. So move through the primary target and as many other enemies as possible. If the primary target is no longer in range, select a new primary target before resuming normal movement rules with any remaining. So it's going to try to bowl me over, but it's going to move 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all it can do because it can't get to me. However, it is still going to attack with attack -1 and then retreat 2. Well, it's going to attack the east and then south one. So it's still hitting my healer. And I rolled a 2, so it's a 2 plus 1, so 3, -1, 2. So it's 2 damage coming to you. You go up to 6. That's how it looks. And then you retreat 2, 1, 2. And that will end the round. What do y'all think so far of the game? I know I'm not moving very far, but there's a lot of enemies on here, and they've been very fortunate with crits. But this is, once we get to the door, the next thing triggers. And once the next thing triggers, we see what's going to happen inside. We see what's going to go, and the story goes further. So, but let's see what's going to happen. Well, I've only got one card, and that card is a move card. That doesn't sound fun, so I'm actually going to rest this turn. So when I rest, my initiative becomes 1. I have no attacks. I just have leaps and moves. So both of us are... maybe not. Maybe I might spend an energy potion to gain back this big hitter. Then I'm going to try to kill you. I think I'm going to do that. We'll use the energy potion. And the energy potion says, recover 1 discarded action card in hand. I'm going to get back the big hitter. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. That is like... cool. So I'll spend that to get that back. And then I'm actually going to play this and a leap 4 for 7. Then I'll rest next round while you do something. So then we'll go, so it's 7 and 1. Grolix. Archers. So this Grolic has a 4 move and attack and yellow 3, so 7. So I go before you. Then this one has a 4, jeez, and a 4, 8. So I still go before you. So I have initiative 1. I get all cards back in my hand. That's all it is. It's just I get all cards back in my hand. Done. Then I have 7, so I'll go first. Well, I'm going to straight up attack you with this because you're close to my friend. So we will roll. I'm actually going blitz on you again. I don't know why I keep doing this. Blitz it. 5. Woo! So that's 5 plus 3 is 8. Look at that beauty. 5. That's what I like to see. So 5 plus 3 is 8. And 11. Oh, if you didn't have any shields, I would... Anyway. You have 2 shields, so it's 8 minus 2, which is 6. So that puts you at 9 damage. I can speak with the experience of many, many mistakes. So that is 9. So that's 6 damage on you instead of 8, which would have killed you with your stupid shields. But still, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You're at 9 of 11. All right. Wait, what did I do? I didn't do this. I didn't do this first. Sorry, everybody. Sore muscles. Every character that is not already at maximum bandages, roll a basic attack die. If you roll a fumble, you receive a bandage. Forgot to do that. So where is that blue dot? Here it is. So I'm at max. This one isn't. I didn't roll a fumble, so I don't get it. And we roll direction, east and north. There we go. All good now. We fixed it. We fixed it. Oh, look, we're getting into the nasty stuff. So that ends that, and then I have parkour, parkour, parkour. I can move 4. Parkour with leap. Leaping over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop there. That'll end my turn. Initiative is what? 8 and 7. So the archer's gonna go first. He's gonna move 3, attack 2 minus 1. So it's just gonna attack the closest target. That is 2 plus 1, 3 minus 2, 1 damage coming in. So I will take 1 damage. And then it's going to do its ability, which is attack -1, retreat 2. Crit. Ow. It inflicts bleed on me. Ow. Ow. Bleed is an ongoing effect that I lose the damage every turn. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So I go to 9. Ugh. Yuck. And then it will retreat 2 because it's a coward. Alright, then this big bastard's going to go next. And he's going to attack -2. 3 plus 1, 4, minus 2, 2. So I will take 2 damage. I know, Brandon. I'm thinking the same thing. So then this one is attack, inflict knockdown, which is bad. Bears. Flub. Dang it. So it's a 4. Just a straight up 4. So that's 12 of 13. I have 1 health left. And then it will inflict knockdown, which knocks me down, which means I have to spend... When you're knocked down, you have to spend 1 movement to get up, which means you have to play movement. And that ends the round. Scout deck. Okay. Well, I'm bandaged to hell. I can't heal myself anymore. Gotta go as early as possible to try to kill you. We're gonna do just 1 card, the Anatomical Strike, which is attack 1, pierce 3. I went through all that armor. And then you are gonna rest. So you'll get all your cards back. Your initiative is 1. So initiative is 1. Get this. Let's talk about what's happening. Something is happening. Mission event. So the mission event, the southernmost enemy, which is this one, will plant another problem adjacent on the bridge. There. And that'll be it. All right. So then I've got my initiative set up. So 4, 1. What do you got? I'm going first, you jerk. So your initiative archer is 8. Your initiative sentry is 8. So I'm going first, and all I'm doing is an attack 1, pierce 3. And I am rolling this regular old dice that cuts through all that stupid armor of yours. So they both have the same. Well, no, yours is 9. They both 9. Yours is 8. Yours is 8. All right, so let's let the archer go. The archer is going to. You're immune to detrimental conditions, which is fine, but you're going to attack -2, target 3 people, range 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can attack both of them. Sure. So it's going to shoot him first, which hits, which is 2 shots. So 2 minus 2. So you would take 1 damage. Well, you would take 1 damage from bleed first, and then you would take 1 damage. So you're at 11. Then it's going to shoot. And what does that mean? What does that mean? Block. The object or figure that the accuracy die is being rolled from becomes the new target of the attack, proceeded with the attack using the new object instead of intended target. So does not kill me outright. Instead, say this is the that it puts there because I need this to be damage that's on the object. Okay, so that's a trap. And this is... Here we go. Alright, big fun. Big fun. This creature is going to finish me off now. So it is going to attack twice. First attack -2. So that's 2, 3, -2, 1. Boom, I'm dead. That's 13, which takes me out. Yep, which takes me out. So let's see what happens when our friendly neighborhood creatures die. I think, is the mission lost if one person loses? Mission result. Failure. If the characters fail to complete a mission objective that is not optional, or if all characters have been defeated. Alright, so if all characters. So let's talk about knockout. Need to see what happens when I get knocked the heck out. Defeat. When a character SP is reduced to 0 during a mission, your character is defeated. Remove the character's miniature from the map. Remove all conditions from the character. Restore its health to full. Recover its discarded character action cards. The character is immediately evacuated back to the Phantom Epoch for recovery and is no longer a part of the active mission. However, if the remaining characters complete the mission, then defeated characters still earn the rewards at the end of the mission. Defeated character retains any Nova Cells, that's what they're called, Nova Cells, that they acquired during the mission prior. So it's just, I'm out for the mission. Cool! Yay! So, our healer is gone. Done and done. So we're playing this one player. Right now. So let's slide you over. That's the ongoing effect. This is your upgrade cards. This is your hand set. And you don't have any heal cards because the healer is dead. Okay. So that was that one attack. Then the other one's just a regular attack with knockdown, but that doesn't matter. And that ends the round. Yeah, this isn't looking too hot for us. This might be... I've rolled so many crits for the enemy, it's ridiculous. Okay. So, and I believe bleed stays on until it's removed. I don't think it comes off. Yeah, I think bleed stays on. It's an ongoing persistent effect. Figure with this condition takes 2 damage at the start of each of its non-rest turns. Well, I took a rest turn, so I shouldn't have suffered any damage. But my next turn, I'm going to be almost dead. Sweet! So, let's go ahead and... Oh, did I flip these over? I think I went too fast. I didn't look at them. So let's see. The mission card. Any character that rests this round receives 2 damage. Well, I don't plan on resting. Southeast. Then... Where's my throw stuff? I had a throw thingy. Throw. Where is it? Throwing knives. Here it is. So I'll do throwing knives. So my initiative is 5. What are yours? 4 and 7 and 3 and 3, 6. Mine's 5. Suck it. So I'm going to attack range 4. And I'm going to roll the crazy blitz die because there is no tomorrow. Crit, but it bounces off, so nope, no good. It's this. Then I'm going to move 4. Moving right here. Run away from me if you can. All right. Then number 6 is going to go. He's going to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, he got there. And then he's going to attack me. Then he's going to attack me for lovely regular attack, which is 3 damage. Plus 1, 4. I'll be alive. So 1, 2, 12, 3, 4. I have 1 health left. 1 health left before mission fail. So then we will go to the archer's turn. You are just going to attack me for my this -2. Crit. I'm dead. I'm dead. So I lost. So we lose the mission. Mission failure. And we don't get to see what else happens. Mission failure. That was tough. Yeah, so we lose the mission. When the mission's failed, what happens? Mission failure. So as you can see, there's tactics in the game. It's just not walk through and fight. So let's see, where are we? Mission failure. Come on, you're in here somewhere. It's the back of the book. It's character death. Let's see. Mission failure. If characters fail to complete a mission objective that is not optional, or if all characters have been defeated, the mission is considered a failure. Upon failure, any remaining characters are evacuated back to the Phantom Epoch for recovery. The rewards for the campaign orbs activated or campaign treasures retrieved before mission failure are kept. Failed missions can be attempted any number of times. So, boom, we lost. But you got to see the game. You got to see the game. Okay, so let's run through just kind of where I land, and like you could see, even in the prototype, there is a lot of scenarios left in these books, and a lot of missions that go through. See how, I mean, there's a lot of really cool things in here for people to try out and see. So I think this is amazing. Too over dramatic. All right, so let's talk about the things that I like about this game, and then the things that I don't. All right, I already told Tyson. I said, hey man, I don't charge for preview content, but you will get my honest opinion of things. What I like about this game, enemy AI, I love it. I really, really wish that I know you can't do it, Tyson, but I just really wish it was dual layer boards with the sunken pieces so that these cards don't shift around a ton. But that is someone else, or someone who is doing someone who's doing any type of organizer or anything for board games. They can make one and make some money off of it, so it's not on you to do. But I love the AI. I think the AI is, I haven't seen anything like it, where it's the AI runs off of species and class cards. I love that. I think the AI is really unique. And even when you pull an AI card, for instance, it depends on what color the base of the creature is, right? Because there's only 4 of every. There's only 4 of every one. So whatever color you are going to pick for the creature to come out, they all do different things. So I think that this is amazing. Like, it's okay, well, as a species, this specific Grolak will do this, and then as a class of an archer, this specific Grolak will do this. And if you have 3 archers out, they all do different things. They're not all going to do the same thing. Thank you for being honest there. It seems like that is few and far between these days with board game information brokers. No, no, this is, I mean, which is fine, but I love this AI system. I think it's great. I think this is very refreshing. I think it's fun. And I love that there is a lot of uniqueness to the enemies. An archer isn't an archer, isn't an archer. One archer, like you got three archers on the board. They're all going to move three. They're all going to shoot you. This doesn't do that. It's one of them is going to do a fire arrow. One of them is going to do a full draw. One of them is going to attack three of you. So they're all doing different things. And I really, really like that. I like that a lot. You all didn't get to see two archers out to see how they function. But I really, Steve and I, when we played it, we did, and we really liked this. Well, I'll speak for myself, and I'll let Steve speak for himself. But I really liked the AI. I think that is beautiful. The expeditions, on you get to see them on a previous video, but the expeditions, there's a lot of variety in these expeditions. Per planet, there is variety, and so these expeditions are really cool. For instance, let's see if this one will show up. So there's an expedition, basically where it says, okay, read some flavor text, make a choice, and after the choice you make, you flip it over and see what the outcome of your choice is. And it's either discard the card to get rid of it, or whatever the symbol that means. Shuffle the card back in the deck to come back up again later if you choose to do it. So there's a lot of story here. Yeah, there's a lot of story here for what's going on outside of the missions. There's a lot of story building up on what's going on. Things that I also like. I am, well, I'll come back to that in a second. I like the timer system on this. I like that there's always something happening every round. I like the timer system. I like anything that has to do with the enemy. I'm not going to lie to you, because even the decision die to say how the enemy is going to pick its target, I think is cool. Like, even the decision die. The timer on the game is good, where it's, so I'm going to do some comparisons of games I've played and what feels close. One of the things, and Steve mentioned this, but once again, like I said, I'll let him say what he thinks when he does his playthrough. But one thing that he did say that I agree with, when I played a game, and I'm just going to use this for reference, don't think that this game is like it, it's not. But when I played Gloomhaven, one of the things that irked me was that I'm losing cards. Every time I try to do something, I'm losing cards. I'm losing abilities. Hey, I'm a rogue and I get to stab people once, and then the card's gone. And then when I run out of cards, I lose the game. I understand the mechanic behind it. It's just it's weird. It's a weird factor for somebody who, and then you can rest to get, you can short rest, but then you got to ditch a card, or you can long rest and rando and then ditch a card. And it could be the card that has that ability of backstab. You don't know. What I really love about this that sets it aside from that is that you don't lose abilities. You just exhaust them, and then you rest and you get them all back. And these decks are upgradable. It's a deck it's not a deck builder, it's a deck construction game, only because you only can have 10 cards in your deck when you go on missions, but those 10 cards, you don't have to spend experience to change them. You could once you purchase those for the cost, the upgrade cards for the cost, once you purchase that, when you go on your next mission, just say, I'm going to take this one and not this one and be done. That's it. That's it. You don't have to spend anything to modify your card deck before each mission. That's cool. So I like the deck construction aspect of this. And I believe Tyson said that more is coming to kind of like build up so that you'll have some really great variety in terms of your deck construction. So I like the deck construction action of this. I love book maps. I am over tiles. I am beyond over tiles. I'll still play games with tiles on them, but if someone offers me a choice between playing a map on a book or breaking out 30 billion tiles and sorting through 9A and 7B and 13X, I will take the book every day. So I love the book. I think the book is great. Okay. What I And this is only for my playthrough. And actually, as I'm talking, I'm going to skim through here to see something real quick. Yeah, yeah, it's here. It's this. All right. What I am on about this game from what I've seen so far of the preview, and I can only speak from that, which is about 4 or 5 games that I've played so far. What is that I don't have any way to mitigate damage out the gate, right? I wake up from cryo, so which means I don't have a lot of armor. But I'm on mission 3, which is technically mission 4, because the introduction tutorial is mission 1, and I have no way to mitigate damage. Still. Now, there is armor that you can buy that costs 18, and this is what? Is this a level 3? This is a level tier 2 armor, but it costs 18 at tier 2 just for you to get 1 guard. Like 1 guard. You know, like I would like a card that lets me guard for each character, so I can say that, or I would like to find some equipment that gives me something more than +1 so I can help mitigate mega hits. I roll horribly. So that means that enemies are the sentry is going to crit me most of the time, which will be about a max damage of about 5. And if as you saw in this playthrough, I rolled a lot of crits for the enemy, which means it could take me down quickly. So I would like a way to sustain that in a sci-fi world. The warrior class has the ability to get quite a bit of guard, but it usually comes at a cost of attack modifiers. That's fine for the warrior. I don't mind that, Brandon. I think it's more that's just the warrior, right? Do I have any shielding? Like I said, sci-fi game. So my brain goes to, is there any way that I can, let's just say I come out of cryo and my shield is like, I just have a guard 1. So at least I'm mitigating 1 damage. Unless they have pierce, which is fine. They can do that all day long. But because I can't mitigate damage, I'm just soaking it up while the enemy is, while out the gate, a base level Grolic archer, not archer, a Grolic, I think the Slinks are the first. Yeah, here we go. Slink Scout. While a base level, a level 1 Slink Scout's got guard 1 and I don't. But I see what you mean about having a universal defensive card. Yeah. So a Slink level 1 Scout, which technically is me, has a guard 1 and I don't. So it's just like, all I'm doing is just soaking damage. And and with the limitation, which I like the restriction on healing, so you just don't overheal every round and just walk through the game. Because I have this limitation, it drastically reduces my ability to do anything, to heal. So I don't like that. I love the things that you can buy cards for one-time burns, like energy potion to use during missions. I love these things here at the bottom of these abilities to use. That you have to charge them is tough for me. The reason why I find it tough for me is because I don't get a lot of these. This is Steve's stash from last game. If you notice, when I started, I had nothing because I'm a healer. So I'm not killing stuff as much. I've got 3, maybe 3 attack cards. So I've got 3 attack cards, and if I don't kill anything with those 3 attack cards, I will never get one of these. So why give me an ability that lets me charge stuff when the rogue makes sense to stack up on this stuff? And so maybe I'm thinking that if there was, there are specific sets, but if there's a healer set that doesn't require these, but gives me some type of benefit, that might be helpful instead of me saying, yeah, they can be, importantly, the Nova Cells can be freely traded between characters. At the end of a mission, though, right? Can I give them it during my turn? Or are they traded during the mission? The healer is definitely somewhat reliant on charity for Nova Cells. Yeah, I don't like that reliance. I don't like that reliance. I think, if there's a way for the healer to get Nova Cells another way, but it's still costly, if that makes sense, then that would be a lot smoother. You generally can't recharge equipment during the mission anyway. So yeah, so it's like, okay, so the healer gets a cool ability. Hey, can I borrow a Nova Cell? Nah, I need to buy that 18 Nova Cell cost shield just to get one guard. You know what I mean? So the healer relies heavily on charity, but if charity isn't there, then the healer is at a disadvantage. And per mission, I mean, there are expedition cards that give you Nova Cells, but the expedition card is usually geared towards, from what I've seen, geared towards the Phantom Epoch. Anyway, so I've gone through that, the map, the characters. I feel I think that they're dynamic, but I wish that they had some type of innate guard. Like, let me mitigate damage somehow, like the enemy does. Please. The mission events. I like the mission events, that they're so different and unique. I like the Phantom Epoch, but I need to know more about it. The player count in this game is 2 to 4. If you're playing solo, you play two-handed, but it's 2 to 4. It says 1 to 4, but it's not 1 to 4. And I can tell you why it's not 1 to 4. Let's take a look at this. 3 to 4 player, 2 to 4 player, 2 to 4 player, 2 to 4 player, 4 player, 4 player. There is no one player aspect to this game, so there's no true solo. It's 2 to 4 player, and you can play, if you're playing solo, you play two-handed. So there is no true, I can't take one hero on this mission, and they would be at a massive disadvantage if I could take one hero on this mission. So even on the previous mission that we did, 2 to 4, 2 to 4, and 4. So yeah, so there's no true solo, but you'll play two-handed or four-handed. No. No. But there's a lot of variety in this game. There's a lot of abilities that you can get after you complete a mission. So we completed a bunch of missions in our last. If you want to see how this functions, look at the previous video. And each one is specific. It has specific sets. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that to this one. But these upgrades I like. All in all, I say all that. Those are my feelings about what it is. I want to see more from this. I haven't opened up enough, and because I finished now, I'm going to be handing it off to I'll be handing it off to Steve for him to play through some more. But I'm curious more about the Phantom Epoch and what else it can do. So this has piqued my curiosity, and the story so far is good. The story so far is good. But if you want to know what has me saying I'm going to back this game, is the AI, the enemy AI. I love it. I think it's so much fun. That's the winner for me. The characters themselves, there'll also be unlockable classes in the game. Yeah, I didn't know that. So that to me is a bonus for having that. But the enemy AI has got me, and the enemy AI and the book map has me saying this is a game I'm gonna back. Yeah. Any questions from anyone else? From anyone, not anyone else, anyone about this game, how it plays, or curiosities on things of how it functions? Because I think that overall I like the game a lot. Here's another thing. I think this is over-engineered. I'm sorry, Tyson, I do. I think this is over-engineered. I know you wanted counters, and I love that you put this piece on here that says, hey, if this character gains barrier, we could just stick the barrier slot in here. And so you're carrying around the barrier with you until it's used, so it's not like laying on the card or being someplace where it's not going to be useful. So it's just like right here walking with the character. I like that. This counter thingy, I don't know. I would never use it. I would just use dice. But that's me. But I think it's a little over-engineered. But other than that, I don't have much complaints. All my complaints about this game are not mechanic-based, save for the shielding. Is there a fantasy-themed version in the works for future? I know this is very premature. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This one is sci-fi based, which I'm looking for a really good sci-fi game. I think this scratches that itch. I think it'll be a fun game. But yeah, this I don't know. Um, I will when I get when you get the game, the enemies will be standees, and the heroes will be miniatures that are printed out in better quality than this. Tyson's already said that they will print out in better quality of it. But I would say for me, when I play this, I will keep this thing here that you see here for putting those little buffs on because I think that's cool. But I'm probably not going to use that. It will probably be this, and then I will use dice. I will use dice to mark health, and I'll keep track of it. I'll figure something out, but that's this is probably what it's gonna look like when I play, or for streaming, it'll try the best to do it. But this is probably where I'll end up. But we'll find a way. We will find a way. Yeah, I think that's it. Unless you get the worry with the health dial as well is if it gets worn over time, and so when you move the character, health dial might spin, and it did a little. See, look, this one's worn, right? So there is wear and tear on it, and on top of that, um, another thing to keep in mind, because like I said, I'm being honest. I'm being completely honest. Look at that. So because these are paint, they're emboldened, so you can see that they're raised. They are raised, but they're painted. So at the end of the day, when they wear, only you at the table, y'all like you streaming, right? Me streaming for you all, you can't tell. Even with let me zoom in as best as I can. Okay. So you can set so if you're at the table, you can still see the numbers, so they are pushed out. They are pushed out, but I would have to hold it that close. If I hold it right here, held it right here, can you see what this is? Like I'm looking at the chat window and I can't tell. But if I look here, I could say that's a 3. So it will wear. Yeah. I prefer standees for most applications these days, especially when they're done well. I agree. Standees are fine. I don't mind. I don't mind it. I'm slowly moving on the no mini kick. Like I'm joining that military because it's just sometimes people make minis mythic to just make minis. I think I would back this because I do not have a dungeon crawl sci-fi themed game. This might be one. It's fun, Matthew. This is a fun game. I would imagine the production version would be colored like the red one is. I think so. I think it would, Brandon. There is just like it'll look like this. Here, let me show you a red one. Here's a perfect example of what I'm talking. This is a perfect example of. All right. So this one looks crisp, right? This is the one that's had use. This is the one that's been used by other content creators. Now, it's a prototype. I don't want you to think that, oh, this is what I'm getting. I want to remind, and Brandon's right, so I'll speak to it again. I'll say it again. Brandon's right. This is a prototype, so these are subject to change. The only thing but I gotta be honest with you, even as a prototype, unless you're gonna make this stuff out of acrylic and have the paint injected inside the acrylic, this is a reality. This is going to happen as more people play Phantom Epoch. It's going to wear. That's just how it is. Unless you're going to make it out of injected acrylic, this is what's going to happen. But injected acrylic is expensive. So this is kind of where we're headed, right? Even if the quality's boosted, you can only boost quality so much before wear and tear takes over. Yeah, and not having a second box just to pull enemies out of while playing would be nice. Yeah, they don't change. They don't change without feedback like this, so this is totally relevant. Yeah, yeah. So my thing is, I don't know. I think I see where Tyson was headed with this. I just think it's over engineered. I think there might be another solution. I just don't know what it is. I hate giving feedback without a solution. I really do. But I can't think of something, and every time I use this, I'm like, I don't want to use this. I'll use dice. And that was it. Recess the numbers rather than have them race. Ooh, there you go. There you go. That could be a thing. I don't know. Anyway. Hmm. Oh, one more thing. One more thing. the thing that I have trouble with. So, and I talked to Tyson about this already, so he knows it's a thing for me. You see this? Actually, let me go back to Burkov 1. Burkov 1 was a perfect example. This is what we talked about. So you see this? I did. So Tyson was like, "Hey, like these two are different colors, right?" And I said no, because I can't tell the difference between these two colors. And I know he said that he worked on some of this stuff. He did be very mindful about accessibility, but you can't do it for everyone, right? You can't make it a game 100% 508 compliant, because that means equivalent experience for everyone, even like every disability, and you can't. This was tough for me because I was like, I can't tell the difference between these two colors at all. So he had to tell me it was another color. That's how I knew it was two colors. So I was just like, okay, this one is slightly grayer. And he said the same thing happened with here, where he asked me how do these look, and I was like, for this, to me, this is like a lighter gray. This, which is weird. So this is like a grayish blue to me, and this is a like bluish purple. That's what I'm seeing. This is bluish purple, and this is a grayish blue, and that's how I can tell them apart. But notice they're the same colors, but when they're side by side like this, I can't tell them apart at all. Yeah. So he's aware, and he's like, man, I got to rethink this, and he's looking at how to rethink this strategy, maybe adding some type of thickness or bordered, a dash to really throw it off. So he's working on a solution. It's not like he's like whatever. He's actually listening and sending me some. He's asking me questions about, are you able to tell them apart now? And so if he can do that, then he's saying it's being accessible. But that's another thing that was tough for me. Yeah, other than that, I think the game's great. I think the game is great. Oh my god, these things. I like this. I like these two dice a lot. I like them a lot because it's such push your luck. Like, you're like, okay, well, I can roll for a regular hit, which has like a 2 or something, or I could go for broke on the blitz die. I like these. I like these die. This die, the accuracy die, let me check the ratios. So it's hit, 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 so that's 3. 3 hits. Oop. So it's 3 hits, 2 ricochets, and 1 complete miss. That's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah, that's fair die. Yeah, I'm not upset about it. So those dice, I like the blitz die. I like the regular hit die, and I like this. I love that the enemy only rolls those this, because if it rolls the blitz die, it could murder you. So I like that as well. The determination die, I think, is cool. You have to do something about this. I know this is a prototype. Just make sure that Tyson, just make sure that or Brandon, let him know. Just make sure that when they're casting these, this isn't gonna fly. I can barely make out that can't fly. I think that these and probably Brandon, what you said with this stuff being recessed and then colored in and leave it white, right? I think that's the solution to this, because that can't work for me. Yeah, that can't work for me. That can't work for me, and that can't work for me. So I think that, but this is prototype. This is prototype. So don't think this is the final what you're getting. This is pure prototype. So I'd probably say, if you could let Tyson know, like, don't do this. Don't do this in the final, and it should be fine. Yeah. So I think that is all my feedback. And remember, the feedback that I'm giving is, I hope it's constructive. I hope I'm not being a jerk. So I hope it's constructive, but I really do like the game. For I love the enemy AI, 100%. I love the round tracker. I love the dice. If there was a way for the heroes to somehow mitigate damage, that would be so great. That'd be so great. But that is my only complaint, I think, about the hero. I love the AP thing, where you can play as many cards as you want. I love non-card loss. Love, 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 love. And then there are a few things that could be tweaked on to make things a little bit better. But we'll see. Yeah, but that's all I had. So there is my preview of the tabletop version of Phantom Epoch. Steve and I did a playthrough on Tabletop Simulator. If you want to see it all automated and pretty and spoiling you to death. But now I'm going to pack this up, and Steve is coming over for Game of Palooza. I'm going to actually hand this to Steve, and he will do a hit. Kim and Steve will do a playthrough on the One Stop Call Shop stream channel of Phantom Epoch before sending it on to its next location. But there's a lot coming up. So Thursday, I believe Pac-Man and I we're either gonna do one of two things. One, we're gonna continue our expedition in Aeon's End, which we started last Thursday, or two, we're gonna continue our Skyrim playthrough, which we started long before that. So one of those two things will happen Thursday. Steve's coming over. It'll just be Steve, but which I'm sad because I wish Kim could make it as well. But I live in a tiny house, and and Steve will be coming over, so it'll be we'll be playing games for Game of Palooza. It will be live streamed. It will be live streamed. There's a lot of games we're going to be playing. So I'll just give I'll give kind of a quick glimpse of some of the stuff that we'll be doing. There's a special bonus play of Marvel United that Steve and I will be doing. It has nothing to do with our campaign. It's just a special bonus play of it. There is another Kickstarter preview that we're going to be playing on live stream for Game of Palooza. And then there is a bunch of other games that are coming that I can't tell you about. So you'll have to stick through and do. But I will line those up, and you'll see them appear. They'll probably appear Thursday or Friday. Most likely Friday morning, my time. You'll see them start popping up on the channel. So if you're curious and you want to check it out, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified. Also, I hit the milestone of 1,500 subs, which thank you so much, YouTube subscribers. I appreciate you so much. That I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And so we'll be doing the 1,500 sub celebration that's going to be coming up, and I'll be doing a giveaway during that. And I've got all the games for giveaway right over here that I will be setting that up. So it's going to be amazing. Be there, hangover and all. So it's gonna be a fun time. But thank you so much, Tyson. Thank you for this Kickstarter preview. Remember, everything that you saw was a preview. You're going to make me be up earlier on the weekend, aren't you? Yes, Kate. Yes, I am. So this is a Kickstarter preview, which means everything that you saw is subject to change. Is the reason why I gave my feedback. And so, Tyson will take that under advisement and make any changes that he deems necessary. So just pay attention to that. Look for this. It is coming back to Kickstarter. I will be backing it 100% because I think this is an amazing project. The developer is one of the coolest people that I've ever met. So I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you, my patrons, my YouTube subscribers. And if you are neither and never care to be, that is perfectly fine. You never have to join. You just have to come join me at the table. And remember, I love every single one of you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.